Hey y'all, it's I have been resining for several weeks now, and today I decided I wanted to try something a little bit different. Instead of creating something like a candle holder or a piece of jewelry, I decided to create canvas art with resin today, and really don't know what I'm doing, just feeling brave and experimenting. I have been watching a ton of resin videos, acrylic pour videos, just trying to figure out where I can go with this craft. It keeps me very occupied, and I love that every creation is different and unique, and it even changes and shifts right before my eyes as I'm creating, and that is a very satisfying thing for a neurodivergent brain. The most important thing for me is to remember that I cannot control the outcome. So, again, this is an awesome practice for me in mindfulness and releasing attachment to the outcome. So now that I've been working with resin for about 2 months now, I have learned a bunch of little tips and tricks, and one of my favorite things to do is to reuse and recycle. So a lot of times I might have resin left over, maybe it gets stuck to the bottom of the mixing cup, or maybe, I don't know, maybe there's like beads on a mold or something, and especially if I really liked the color arrangement or the metallics that I used, I keep them. And so while I'm making this acrylic pour art, I knew there was going to be a bunch of drips left over, and I had some resin coasters that I'm making up out of the scraps of my resin. So I decided to finish them today with the scraps and the drips from this piece. I am, in fact, a little bit hyper OCD when it comes to waste. I absolutely hate wasting things. And so this is an awesome opportunity for me to, again, not be in control of the outcome because I have no idea what these coasters are going to look like. I have no idea what this piece of art is going to look like. But I will show you in a couple minutes a little preview. And then in 24 hours, I'll show you what they look like cured. You can see I used my spatula to scoop up a lot of drippings and then drip them down onto the top of the coasters, again just to make sure I did not waste a drop and that every coaster was as full as possible and even. It really made for some interesting color arrangements, let me tell you that. At the end, I just dripped a few drops of a metallic ink on there, an alcohol ink, and moved it around to kind of help blend all the patchwork together. I'm cleaning up here with a solution of water and rubbing alcohol. This helps remove the resin from the cement, which I'm going to have to eventually sand down. Here is what our art piece looks like. I had trouble with the acrylic paint mixing into the resin, so there are flecks of paint in there. I decided to let it be. And this is what our coasters look like. And we will demold tomorrow and see what the art looks like cured. The next morning, I demolded these coasters. They have a very marbled effect because I did reuse resin leftovers and mixed a bunch of resins together from leftover projects. But they're a neat little thing just to have around the house, and now it's not wasted. The art did need one more coat of resin. The acrylic was really difficult to mix into the resin, and so some of it came out in clumps, and those acrylic clumps poked through the resin. Don't mind me singing along with my playlist. But anyhow, the acrylic bumps poked through the resin and they did not cure, so it was smearing paint all over. So I needed to do one more resin coat, and I decided to brush these paintings with mica powder and also coat them with resin. So I'm excited to see how those ones turn out. I did one more coat, tried to really evenly distribute the resin and cover everything. I did add some gold glitter to this as well to kind of just help camouflage those acrylic paint spots. I wiped all of it down with an alcohol and water solution to make sure that none of it would be sticky or still stick up through the next layer of resin. And I just used a very little bit to cover these canvas pieces. I did have to make sure it reaches all the way out to the corners. Otherwise, the resin kind of pulls together and settles in the middle. So even as the resin continues to cure, I came back to mess around with these a couple times just to pull the resin all the way to the edges and make sure nothing was left uncovered. And of course, with resin, you can only do your best and hope that the result turns out the way you want. So we will see how these do. But of course, it'll take another 24 hours. Well, it has been a little while since this piece has been finished, and I just forgot to finish the video. So that's what our baby looks like. I love the colors. They turned out beautifully. Don't mind my dirty rug. Today's not vacuuming day. This also turned out so gorgeous. I love the shimmer underneath the resin. This one is still my favorite. Oh, just look at those powders. So shiny and reflective and glittery and all of the wonderful things. So if any of these catch your eye and you're like, oh man, I could purchase one of those, they might fit with my decor, these are all listed for sale on my Instagram at emme.yoga, at Emmy Yoga. Love y'all. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, it would help so much if you subscribed, liked, commented, hit the bell for notifications. If you do one of any of those things, that would help. And if you do all of those things, you are an angel. Have an awesome day. Bye-bye.